Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richard Simmons, JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. As y'all noticed, I've put out a petition, and I need 800 signatures to be put on the ballot for mayor this year here in Mecklenburg County. Today, we're going to talk
Today is Monday, June 5th.
Alexa, I'm not talking to you.
Sorry, I thought I heard my name.
No, you didn't. Today I'm sorry about that. My Alexa is disobedient. She's always been disobedient. We're going to talk about protesting today. And the reason why we're going to talk about protesting is because our people think it's right. Even the white people think it's right. Just because a law has been issued doesn't mean we always have to utilize it. That's number one. Number two, it's a choice. Now, for those that do know me, I am a Native American, half Native American, half Hispanic. And with that being said, the chanting, gathering together is something that the Native Americans did. But they did it during happy times as well. Not only during the times that they were angry. Chanting is a way of us, meaning Native Americans, to connect with God. Not man. My other concern is how people always wait for someone to die before they start protesting for the needs of people. You know, that's bothersome to me. It tells me that people don't really have interest unless a person is dead. I don't mean to say it, to hurt anyone, but I need people to evaluate about how they really care about their people. Not everyone has the gift that I have. And I mean, I say this to say, where I can go out into the community and see things that others may not be able to see. And the reason being is because people feel like life is what it is. Okay? Granted, when you're a Christian or a true believer in God, you see things that others may not see. Is it a gift? I say it's not. Because everyone has the choice to pick up the Bible and see right from wrong. So no, it's not a gift. But it could be a gift that God gave everyone. Not just one single individual or being. If people would take the time out to really analyze and evaluate what's going on in their communities. I was watching a woman in New York. She was, at a podium and speaking in the public regarding the young fella that got killed on the train. And I still say, and I'm going to continue to say, he shouldn't even be dead. Where was his people? This man has been out there in the streets for years. His mom passed away. Everybody knew this. So why didn't they help him? See, this is one of the problems. Everybody feels like, oh, well, it's not my issue, so I don't have to deal with it. Anytime you walk amongst people and if you see them hurting, it is your job because God has put you in their path for a reason. Either for you to see something or for you to help. And we got to get back to doing a lot more helping than just watching. And, I'm going to say this slogan again. If you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Death is the devil's work. So for you to protest doing the devil's work, you're still doing the devil's work. You're giving the devil what he desires, which is chaos. I have a few people that's been in my life. They're not happy unless there's chaos. They don't want to comprehend. They don't want to understand. They don't want to communicate. That's the devil's work. That's the devil's work. Because it turns into chaos. Anything that has to turn into chaos is not God. It's not God. It's not godly. We walk around and we do these things generation after generation. Teaching our children that protesting is okay. It's okay to go out there and tear up stuff. It's okay to go out there and chant. It's okay to go out there and get arrested because you're doing it for your people. No, it's not okay. Because it should have never gotten to that point. Now you want to talk about a setup? You want to talk about how it was designed? Yeah, well, that was the law that was designed to say as soon as they act up, we're going to lock them up. As soon as they break a rule, we're going to lock them up. It was nothing but a setup. Now we really get to get rid of them. Or show them we mean business. Let me tell you something. The Congress didn't open up a public forum for us to be out here chanting and screaming about what we want. They opened up the public forum so we could come and speak about it. See, I come from a family, my grandmother, she was a member of the Negro League. And she taught me, we work in peace. No chaos. And my grandmother, she was a Christian. She went to the Methodist Church in Harlem. And I can't remember the name of the church. It was one of the biggest churches in Harlem. So I don't understand where people get this protesting thing. If you would have been paying attention prior, he wouldn't be dead. He might have been in somebody's hospital or maybe in his own space. We as human beings got to start paying attention. And so we're quick to fight about what we don't want the next person to go through. But what happens to preventing, forget about what they're going to go through. Let's prevent it. That's the key. Preventing something negative from happening. Preventing the devil from attacking. We have to work together. Granted, we know there's some people, they're rebellious, they're defiant, they want to do things their way. Those people we pray for. But those that are seeking help and crying out for help, we listen, we watch, and we understand. So we know how to fix the problem. Not with chaos. Chaos only prolongs the problem. And see, we've taught our kids, we've taught not only our kids, what I'm trying to say is we're teaching our children, generation after generation after generation, that fighting is the way. But we don't have to fight physically no more. And that's been given to us hundreds of years ago. We follow the procedure. We follow the process. If y'all would just trust the process. And see, that's the problem with people today. They don't want to trust the process. I get it, The government does mislead us a lot. They do. And I have to blame that on them. And they're getting better at it. Somebody had to let them know. Now let them know. Stop lying to the people. Say what you're going to say. Either they're going to get it or they're not. We went through an era where Barack Obama and Michelle Obama was president and Michelle was first lady. And through the duration of them being in office, they taught us so much. Was the people listening? No, they wasn't even paying attention. This is why people can't see the things that they need to see. They don't understand the things that need to be understood. Because you wasn't paying attention. Now ask yourself, when he came in office, what were you doing? Go back to that year. And say to yourself, what were you doing through that time? Was you paying attention? Did you see what the government had did for us? Because y'all wasn't listening to them. They put a man in there that they thought y'all would listen to. And y'all still didn't listen to him. So who's the problem? It's not the government. It's the people. If you're not going to listen and follow what they ask you to follow, how is it them? Granted, they do mislead and lie, but somebody had to tell them that, so they're getting better at that. However, if you don't pay attention, how are you going to get the help that's needed? And what happens? It results in death. The devil wins again. See, God appoints people to be able to give y'all the knowledge, give us the knowledge that y'all need to have in order to survive. But if you don't accept it, and do your part, it becomes chaos. And we're going to go back to the COVID. Let's talk about that for just a second. Barack Obama told us it was coming. He told us. But once again, nobody paid attention. Well, I'm not going to say nobody, because some of us did. Even my significant other thought I was crazy when I was packing up the food in the house and I had the emergency kit. Why are you doing this? Well, that's what Barack Obama said. He said it was coming. I just don't know when. And we woke up one morning, and what did they tell us? We have to shut down the country because thousands and thousands of people are dying fast. They couldn't get rid of the COVID fast enough. Why? Because the people wasn't ready. They couldn't shut down the country for 2 weeks to let the COVID die because our people wasn't ready. But we were told and we were informed. But our people wasn't ready. So what did it result in? A lot of our people dying because we were not ready. Now all of y'all hated, kept talking about Donald Trump. Well, y'all lucky y'all had him for president than me. Because he knew the people wasn't ready. So he said, look, we got to get some money out there for these people because they're not ready. They're not ready for a real shutdown. They're going to die. If it was me, I would have followed the protocol. And the protocol would have been to shut down the country for 2 weeks with no movement. Because you should have been listening. You should have been following what they asked us to follow. They didn't appoint that man for nothing. They needed us to prepare. But nobody heard him. It took 4, 8, 16. It took 20 years for the people to start taking care of themselves the proper way. 20 years. Now everybody's out running. Now everybody wants good food. When he was trying to teach us back then, this is what y'all need to do. Michelle Obama put a lot of work into it. Put it into the schools. So this next generation, when we go through this traumatic time, we will be ready. But was y'all paying attention? No, y'all wasn't. But then y'all want to scream about our government, our government. They doing us wrong. It's a choice. It's a choice to sit down and when the president is talking to see what he's talking about. Because it could affect you long term. It could affect your family members. It could affect your children. If you can't sit down and see what the president is talking about, they make sure they save it. So you can go back and watch it. That's the way it's done. Just like when Biden first came in office. First thing he tackled, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the gas and the water, if I'm not mistaken. First thing he tackled. I think it was the gas. But that told me that he was trying to be on his job, even though I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for no one that year. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Because being that I own a nonprofit, but it was Maryland rules, it wasn't North Carolina rules. Every state is different, and I didn't know. I just thought that I had to stay away from the political parties. But North Carolina is a little bit different. They do allow people that own nonprofits to vote. To have they say. Once I found out, I rushed out and started voting again. But quite as kept, for many years, I wasn't voting up until Mama ran, and that's because my mom, she she got on my nerves about it. I was with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and she didn't like it, and I was so upset with her because you're gonna put the government over God, But her theory was, it's a cult and you don't know what you're doing and don't get caught up in that. You gotta fight for your people and you gotta blah, 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 blah. You have that right. And, she went on and on and on to the point where she even threatened to hit me, if I didn't vote and listen to Barack Obama and give the information out to others. And I did. I listened to him and I carried all the information. And I put that information out there to others where some people didn't believe. And, that's not my fault. All we can do is just tell them. Or we can show them. And if they don't prepare, that's their issue. Just like in the book of Genesis. When Noah built the ark, everybody thought Noah was crazy. And he built this ark and he's telling the people, like, look, this is what's going to happen. God has been speaking to me. Y'all need to hear me. Because if y'all don't hear me, y'all going to die. And what happened in the book of Genesis? The people didn't believe. And they died. Because they didn't believe. So that tells you, even from back then, how people truly didn't believe in God and the work of God. So a lot of people, when they walk around and they say, I'm a Christian, well, how much do you really believe? And that's my question. How much do you really believe? It's like when they told us, we're going to give y'all some vaccines, to help y'all survive this COVID because y'all wasn't ready. We're going to give y'all this to try to get y'all back going. But y'all ran out there and got that because y'all saw that death was about, and I don't want to be dead, so I'm going. But not too many people would have been dead if y'all would have just followed the process that Obama told us about. So I just want to see if y'all comprehend what I'm saying. Prevention is number one key to prevent. If God brought it to us on how to save ourselves, that means He wants to see who's the true believers. God had brought it to us through man. And man put that man in office. God works through us. So when something comes to us, we need to pay attention. Just like when my nonprofit, I deal with the kids. I guess I have an energy that the kids endure and feel comfortable with because they come to me, they talk to me, they tell me their issues, they tell me what's going on with them, they tell me how they feel, what they want tomorrow to look like, but based on real life, it may not look like. Because in real life, you get beat down. Everything looks good on a pretty picture when it's mapped out and goals. But they don't tell them that you're going to be beat, ridiculed, mistreated in order to get to that goal. So the kids don't understand that. So we as adults, they're leaders. We're supposed to teach them that. But if you're not paying attention and you going through things and just thinking, oh well, it's a part of life. But certain things is a choice. Certain things we can't control and certain things is a choice. We have to see what's going on around us. Now, I'm going to use this for instance. Now, y'all know that I sell drinks in the summertime, I had went with just the basic, last summer, the basic lemonade, sweet tea, half and half. People showed me a lot of love. But the kids told me about a new drink, right? You gotta follow what I'm saying. The kids told me about a new drink, and it's not everywhere. I've been going around and I've been looking around. I don't see it. Some places have it, not everywhere. But the kids were saying, when I say kids, I'm talking like people in their 20s and younger. I said, okay, so y'all like this. Okay, well, I need to try it. Now, the first thing we do as adults, if the kids bring something new to us, what we do, oh, you a kid, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you stupid. Get out of here. And this is what we always downplay the children. But yet instead they're being introduced. See, this is the key. Pay attention. And this is where people don't pay attention. The kids were introduced to the new way because they saw that the older generation wasn't surviving. But then they looked at, and then I'm going to show you how powerful things are. I was working at work, and I was working with a crew, and every day that we eat Chick-fil-A. Not saying that Chick-fil-A is bad, but, it has its pros and cons. um, they was eating all this stuff, Bojangles and all this stuff, and they watching me, right? Now, I'm older than them. I'm old enough to be their mothers, and some even their grandmothers, okay? And they're watching me, and they're like, okay, Miss Jackie, she says she don't eat this and she don't eat that. We never see her with lunch. Eating this and that. Now they watching. Okay? And every now and again I might say, I'm going to go get me a piece of chicken. One piece of chicken. Because that's all I would eat, one piece or 2 pieces of fried chicken. And I came to work one day. And I told my supervisor, and he's younger than me. I said, all my stuff came back good. And he was like, what you talking about? I said, all my blood work came back good. So he said, for real? I said, yeah. He said, what do you mean good? Like, high blood pressures? And because they so used to all black people having high blood pressure. It's just a model, and you at a certain age, you got to have it. No, I don't have anything. All I got is my allergies. So they start asking, what do I eat? Next thing I know, they coming in with salads. And they eating good. And I'm seeing them eating good on a regular basis. And I'm saying, okay, I see y'all. And they say to themselves, this is how they think. Now, this is the younger generation. Now, Miss Jackie ain't eating the stuff we eating. She ain't got no high blood pressure. She ain't got no diabetes. We need to follow what she's doing. You see how we can be an example for the youth? I didn't come in, I was tired. I drank my Red Bull. Red Bull is like a coffee. They need to put more sugar in it, I think. But I ain't going to complain. Because then I have to drink my Gatorade and get the sugar from the Gatorade, to keep me going. Because the sugar really keeps you going, not the caffeine. People think the caffeine keeps you going, but it's not true. The body needs a certain amount of sugar in order for it to burn, for your metabolism to burn right. But for years they told us, no sugar. Now everybody's so groggy and draggy and sleepy. Because they took sugar out of everything. And they're wondering, like, I feel so tired. Why am I struggling? Young people, why am I struggling so? Eat a candy bar, you'll be fine. And that's what people watch. I tell them, I said, I feel kind of tired, groggy. I'm going to get a candy bar. I'll be back. I eat me a Snicker and I'm back. Let's go. That's all it took. Was a little bit of sugar. And I'm ready to go. I'm running. They start calling me Sonic. I had that sugar. Now I burned it off. I'm tired again. Now I need something else. Some food. Some fuel. If you don't fuel the body's not going to work. So you see what the government had did to us? Because they were doing research. They thought, no sugar. Because everybody has diabetes. So we're going to take sugar out of everything. No, people have diabetes. Some have it because it was hereditary. Some people create it within their bodies. You can't have a bunch of sugar and then don't burn it off. That's the key. Even when you're dieting on calories, you can have sugar. When I used to be all small back in Maryland, I would eat 6 chocolate chip cookies a day. Now my friend, and we was on the same pattern, she would binge. She would eat like a whole pack of chocolate chip cookies. And I told her, I said, stop binging. Just get you 3 to 6 cookies a day and you good. Now you binge and you put yourself back in the where you was before. So it's understanding the process, people. The process of life itself. And preventing the negative. We don't wait until we get sick to stop eating something. We don't eat it to prevent it. Some of us, like myself, I'm going to use myself for instance. I can't eat beef. I stopped eating beef at 17 years old. Now you got people out here still thinking that steak. I knew something was wrong with it. But I didn't learn until I got to the South. We're not even supposed to eat the cow. But when the poor man got hungry, guess what he did? And now y'all think that's the best meat on earth. And was standing up a steak when we wasn't even supposed to eat it. But because y'all don't do your research and understand, what they found out was when you eat a piece of beef, it sits on the belly longer, so it curbs the hunger. Because they were poor. But y'all don't know that. The body takes a long time to break it down. That's not the way God designed it. He designed our bodies to be flowing on a regular basis. But because of poverty and survival, people did things that they wasn't supposed to do. And now we're throwing our hands up on it. Yeah, but I had me some this and I had me some that. And yeah, I'm having me a big old steak. When you don't need it, a lot of it. And yes, it's very high in protein. The highest in protein there is. But you only need ounces of it. Small portion. Very small. Meaning, I would say maybe the size of a cracker. That's all the beef you need to get the protein, the highest protein. But then you eat a burger, you have a piece of steak, and then you go and get your blood drawn, and they say your protein is too high. It's not looking good for you. Oh, I thought I was eating good because beef is... No, it's not. It's not good for you. It's not the number one meat. Okay, it's the number one poor man's meat. But you wouldn't know that if you never owned a farm. You wouldn't even know what beef to eat. Because all cow wasn't meant to be eaten. So there's a lot of things that our people need to learn, but they choose not to prevent certain things. And then they want to get angry and start protesting and start bugging because they never did their research. Just because a person says something, as soon as a person tells you something and it sounds crazy, that's the moment you're supposed to do the research. Not, oh, it ain't true. Do the research. Just like people kept saying, they put carbon monoxide on the fish, on tilapia. Like, oh my God. Why are they doing that? They trying to kill us. Wait a minute. Hold up. So, and it's always the black people that's complaining. But did you remember you're going to get that from when you barbecue? But what do black people eat? Lots of barbecue. So you've been getting it. You're immune to the comment that they putting on the tilapia. Make it make sense. You want to eat twice as much than on that little piece of tilapia. They do it to kill the germs. The same when you throw meat on the grill. But I bet y'all didn't know that. Because y'all don't do your research. So people, we got to start doing more research. We got to start learning how to prevent certain things if you see certain things coming, you know. We got to learn that nothing is going to always be right. We have to look at it as it's wrong and let me do the research or let me just see. And like myself, I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. And y'all know they got the new drink, with the lavender. And I was kind of afraid to try it. But, lavender is in all my products. All my products. Except for one in the beard. That's the beard oil. No, I'm sorry. Except for two. The beard oil and the beard oil. No, lavender is in it. I think in the beard oil. But the hair grease doesn't have it, definitely. I know that for a fact. But all my products are lavender. Pure lavender. Real stuff. Okay? Not the stuff you buy out of Walmart. Not trying to say what Walmart sells is bad. It's just cut to its minimum. Okay? To sell to you guys. But I got the real stuff. And I use it. Raw. So with that being said, I said, I shouldn't be allergic to it, And I tried the lavender, in the drink. And you talking about some tasty stuff. I said, I said, God, where this been? Tasty. Especially in the lemonade. And even if it's not good for me, the lemonade will detox me. Because that's pure. So you gotta, how can I say, pick your battles. And I tell people it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And that's with everything in life. They do all the overthinking. Guess what? I overthink. But y'all see me do more stuff than the average person. And say, well, why she not scared? Or why she not? Because I thought about it. Worked it out in my mind. Worked out the bad that could happen and the good. So that way, if the bad happens, I'm not disappointed. I just move on. On to the next one. Who made that song? Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Swiss Beats. On to the next one. Wasn't disappointed. Because sometimes things don't go as planned. And it's just what it is. This is why we overthink. For those that don't understand why we overthink and why the overthinkers are more successful than the regular people. Because we iron out the good and the bad. And if it turns into bad, we've learned something that we wasn't able to think about because we didn't know about it. And then we move on and reapply it somewhere else. Life is a learning situation. Every day that we wake up, we learn something new. If you don't learn something new every day when you wake up, your life ain't going right. And that's just what it is. And I'm here to tell you. Every single day when we wake up, we are supposed to learn something new. Every day. And if you don't, that means the path and the journey that you're going down is not right. Even if you have to seek your lesson, we're supposed to learn something new every day. Every single day. It's a choice to want to get knowledge. It's a choice. And before you go to bed, for you to recap what you've learned throughout your day. And what you encountered throughout your day. Before you lay your head to rest. And start it again the next day. Life is really not that hard. People just make it that way. We got everybody wanting to make everything hard and difficult. We already got to fight what the government does to us. Then you got other people just wanting to have chaos. Make it hard. Well, if that's what you choose to make your life hard, that's your choice. Life is hard enough. I don't have time for chaos and drama and bullcrap. I'm going to tell you how I feel, and either you accept it or you don't, and I'm keeping it moving. It's up to you to evaluate what a person has told you. Put yourself in a position in their shoes and understand what they're saying. Especially if they keep saying it over and over and over. Just like when Obama was in office, he kept saying these things over and over and over. Him and his wife. And we want the kids to keep their immune system built. We need to do this and we need to do that. And, everybody's like, okay, whatever. And then as soon as the COVID came, even though it came how many years later? But he still prepared us. And it came. It happened. He didn't lie. Where's the lie? That's the other problem. Y'all always thinking somebody is lying. It's not nobody's fault that you don't believe. So that tells us that if you can't believe or do your research on something, you don't even believe in yourself. To even do the research to see if it's the truth or not. You can't just call it a lie. Obama didn't lie to us. He told us it was going to happen, and it did. And then they're saying another pandemic is coming. They already see how this one went. So what, we're going to have a pile of dead people again? Because y'all wasn't paying attention? We try to recap online. Wash your hands. You still got people out here right now wearing masks. Because either they had the COVID and experienced near death, or somebody in their family passed away. Or they just don't want to get it because they could be subjected to viruses and diseases and pneumonia. Like myself, I'm pneumonia prone. But I know the process. I know when my body is starting to fill up, my lungs are starting to fill up with fluid. I can feel it. So I know what to do to try to prevent it. And what I do at home doesn't prevent it, then I know I need to take myself to the doctor ASAP. I can't be on it'll pass. Because I'm pneumonia prone. I have allergies. Most people that have allergies and asthma and respiratory issues because of allergies are pneumonia prone. Why? Because the allergens infects our bodies like viruses. If it's not treated or we don't have an inhibitor to stop it. This is what we go through on a regular basis. And then y'all went through it for 3 years with COVID. But the people with asthma and respiratory issues go through it every single day. Every single day. If we get around the wrong allergen, it'll be just like we had COVID. A lot of that comes from the way that the body is designed. This is why we need inhibitors to stop it. But if people didn't do their research, they wouldn't know that. It's a choice, people. Everything is a choice. It's a choice to learn your body. It's a choice to watch your community and understand your community. I was in a very rich community last night. And it was an older guy. He was standing in a circle. And he was talking to a couple of young teens. I don't know if they was doing something wrong, or he was just having a conversation with them outside, But this is what we're supposed to do. Talk to our teens. See what's going on with them. See if they need help. If there's something that you know that can help them, then help them. Tell them the information. We want them to be better than us. Not to learn, every time it's an issue, we gotta fight. We got grown men thinking it's okay that every time you speak to them, it's a fight. Instead of just comprehending or understanding, and granted, if you've never been through something, it's hard to understand it, but maybe you need to sit back and think and understand why it's not necessary. We can't continue to blame our system for why our men are the way they are, because it's a choice. It's a choice. Some men just don't want to be at their potential. They just want to be a piece of nothing. They don't want to stand their ground as a model man and say, if we fight this way, we can lead. We can help our youth learn. If 20 men, forget about 100, if 20 men started today and said, I'm going to be a model man for my youth, And I'm going to show them in different communities. Believe me, it's going to spread like wildfire. But if you have these men always being defiant and seeing chaos as how life is supposed to be, this is what we're going to continue to teach. When we supposed to be teaching, no matter what the government does to us, we will overcome it. And that's just what it is. Because we are fighters. We survived from the beginning. That's why they respect us so much. Because we work hard. You go to some white companies, they will only hire black people. You know why? Because they know we work hard. And we want our monies. Because we got to stay looking good. Our hair got to be done. We want our nice clothes. We want our nice shoes. So we're going to let them run it. Yeah. Because, they want the money. They don't give a damn about the awards. They don't care about none of that. They want the money. So if I'm going to be successful, I know I'm going to be successful with them. Because they want the money. They need the money. So you see how the white man looked at us? That's why they always give us the opportunity. Because they know we're going to show up. It might be a little late sometimes, but we're going to show up. And when we get there, we're going to knock it out. Because for one, we don't even want to be there. We want to be shopping. Okay? I don't know, for some reason that's in our nature. I don't know why. But yeah. This is the facts of it all. But we got to get to the discipline of it. Because we've been undisciplined for so many years. And we're teaching our people to be undisciplined. And that comes from our black men because they're supposed to be the leaders. Now we have to take up, we bring in black women and just women in general to the forefront because we're a little bit more disciplined. Why? Because we have children. And there's certain things you just can't do when you have children. And those that do see the negative outcome. They have to physically go through it and say, damn, I shouldn't have did this like this. But everything is a learning process. There's no book on how to learn how to raise a family. You look at other leaders and say, hey, this is who I want to be. I think I'm going to follow this one over here. I like the way he's doing his stuff. Just like, I'm going to bring something to y'all. A lot of people don't know. Like when you go into like the suburban communities, everybody tries to do things together. Okay. If one person get a new car, everybody tries to get a new car because now we're upgrading the community and we're doing it together. One fixed the lawn. Sometimes we got to remind each other. Oh, geez, it's mulch time. All right, let me go get some mulch and fix my front, my yard and get it together. Then you may have somebody else in the community come in. Oh, that was looking nice. Well, I guess I better invest. Okay, let me go to the store and get what I need. And this is why you see all the people piled up in the store, okay, because we're taking care of our community. And this is the homeowners I'm talking about. We're taking care of our community. We follow. Does that look nice? It can't hurt. Because it looks good. It feels good. The energy of it is good. So if it's good, let's roll with it. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. Christmas time. I had a neighbor, a white guy. It was funny. And we was having a Christmas decoration battle. Okay. It was funny. My significant other said, what is you doing? I said, I'm going to the Walmart. He think he about to outdo me. But this is how it started. I went out and got my little Christmas stuff and fixed up my house and, stuff in the yard and everything. And I come home one day. He got this big old Santa Claus, and just made my little stuff look all little tiny and small. I said, he trying to kill me. I said, oh no, I'm going to the store. So my significant other said, where you going? I had my little purse. I said, I'm going to the Walmart. I'm going to find some other stuff to put on this lawn because he think he outdoing me. I ain't with it. And, and I got my little purse and went on down to the Walmart and found some more stuff and hooked it up. Well, guess what he did? I guess he came outside the next morning and was like, oh, no, she didn't. And he ran to the Walmart and got some more stuff. Okay, so we went back and forth with this. I think it's about the week of Christmas to where it was enough. Okay. You have some of those type of people, and it was actually fun. We had a ball doing it, and then we stood and laughed. I said, oh, you thought you was going to outdo me, huh? He was like, well, I had to get something big, I got the kids, and the kids was like, let's get this one. I said, oh, so the kids is the one that told you to do it. So we laughed about it. But we came together in a community and made it look good together for the kids. So the point that I'm trying to make is, whether it's Christmas stuff or because a child is hungry, we have to come together to prevent their death. I drove past a kid yesterday. I don't usually keep cash on me because, I don't do cash. One, it's dirty. Two, we supposed to keep it at the bank. But I had this installer. The kid was selling sodas. We don't know if he's about to get put out, we live, trying to help his mom, or they just trying to get some food, and all they had left was sodas, or they know something is coming, and they're trying to prevent it. Oh my God, we got 10 days before the lights is about to get cut out. Come on, let's go out here and try to hustle up this money. I waited right before the light was about to change, and I put my hand out with the dollar. And he was about to ask me what soda I wanted, and I just took off. And he looked at me. Whatever cause it is, son, here. And I don't want your soda. For one, I don't even drink soda. I just want to help with the cause, whatever the cause may be, that you're trying to prevent. And that's the way we have to look at it. It's not always people are trying to do wrong. Granted, yeah, we've grown up with, there's been people on drugs and they ask for money for drugs, but at least they're asking for it and not robbing somebody. See what we prevent sometimes by helping others. It was a man up the street. He said to me, me and God ain't seeing eye to eye. I said, well, why? He couldn't tell me. Well, he's an alcoholic. He wanted some beer. He's like, you got $1 so I can get some beer? And we know alcoholism is a disease. He's standing out there. I wish I had the $1 to give to him. Because I'd rather give him $1 and prevent him from busting somebody upside the head because he's getting sick because he needs his beer. And has not made the choice yet to say, enough, let me go get some help. Everything is a process, people. Everything. And we have to trust the process. And if the Holy Spirit moves within you and your mind say, give it to him. And then you turn around and be like, nah, I'm not doing it. Because all they're going to do is that's not your call. That's not your call. When you give it away, whatever they do with it is their business. But they're asking for help. And the reason why they're asking is to prevent them from doing something negative. Just like the boy that died on the train. He said, please, somebody help me. And they all sat there and they watched. He was tired. You know how hard it is to try to survive on a daily basis? You don't have a job. You don't have no means of getting income. So I don't blame the man that hurt him. I blame the people around. Because he asked for help. And we got to stop ignoring when people ask for help. If you can't help them, just tell them that. Just say, I can't do it. I don't have it. Say a prayer for them, and maybe God will send somebody else through that can help them. To prevent the negative from happening. We have to start taking responsibility, people. It's just what it is. We have to take responsibility in our communities. We can't keep blaming the government for everything. Okay? Because there's a process. Just like my young boys was out there. We don't, like I said, we don't know if their lights was about to get cut out. Do you know the process that you got to go through to get help from the government in order to get your light bill paid? And then half of the time, they don't even pay that. And then they take forever. It's easier to just try to hustle the money up and just pay the bill and get it over with. Sometimes it just be that easy. We go to the government when we just don't have no other way. Our back is against the wall. I just put in my new song, top of my block, get your back off the wall. Because we're not putting our backs up against the wall. We're going to get up and do what we need to do. Okay? Whatever it takes without hurting others. And that's just the way we have to do it. Granted, some people's backs are going to be against the wall. And they have no other choice. But that's not going to be the first decision. Because the government is slow. Where you could have went out and tried to help yourself, you spend a day wasting time to get the money from them, and then they take 2-3 months doing it. So we try to avoid them every way possible. Even if we have to wait certain things out. We trust the process. God's process. And then when we can't take it no more, that's when we say, hey, okay, now it's time for us to go sit down with this government and say, hey, look, you got to help me. Enough is enough. I'm tired now. But we do all we can to prevent. This is Jacqueline Richard Simmons, JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, prosperous day. Y'all take care and be safe.